Hi dear students, welcome to the virtual learning. Now we enter into the third part, that is drama at the margin. The margins of the plates or the boundaries where the plates meet are the sites of highest geologic activity. We saw how new crust is formed leading to seafloor spreading along the mid-ocean ridges. Similarly, in other margins of the plates where one plate meets another, often the incoming plate dips under the stable plate. In fact, the incoming plate actually goes into the mantle of the earth and becomes molten due to the heat of the mantle. So here we see that because of the margins of the plates, the boundaries of the plates meet at one side. So there what happens, we have seen that there would be seafloor spreading. Also, we can see here something else. Here we see that when the floating plate comes and meets the stable plate, then there is something called a great force that is happening. And then here the floating plate would go under the stable plate, and the incoming plate actually goes into the mantle of the earth and becomes molten due to the heat of the mantle. So when the mantle is so hot, then incoming plate would become molten and goes under the stable plate, that which is not actually moving. The plate thus going under into the mantle actually pulls of the rest of the plate with it. This in turn pulls the newly formed seafloor near the ocean ridges. For example, Indian plate pushes the Eurasian plate and goes under it just where the Himalaya mountains are. Just imagine, one day in a very distant future, the land you were standing upon will go under the Himalayas and join the molten mantle. So, a clear cut example that he is giving here is that the two plates actually meet at one point. A plate that is moving and the another which is not moving, a stable and a floating. So, the floating plate comes under the stable plate, then it becomes molten, and where they meet, there is a new land. Example, the Indian plate moving and going under the Eurasian plate and then forming a new land called Himalayas. In fact, the Himalayan mountains were formed by this process of Indian plate pushing into the Eurasian plate. Many of the plate boundaries are also characterized by the volcanic eruption and earthquakes. They are the most earthquakes prone and volcano prone zones. So, this seafloor spreading as well as the fusion at the mantle or fusion at the margins would also happen because of two things. One is volcano eruption, the other one is earthquakes. In the above section, we saw two kinds of changes in the lithosphere. First, the very slow movements leading to the formation of the crust, movements of the continental plates and their eventual return to the mantle. Second, the sudden and dramatic eruption of volcanoes and earthquakes. The sudden movements can be destructive and cause much damage. At the same time, they also lead to changes in landforms. So it means there are two types of actions that take place for the changes of the landforms on the lithosphere. One is slow changes like seafloor spreading, as well as the slow movement of the plates. And the second one is a dramatic and drastic action, that is volcanoes, and then the other one is earthquakes. We know that volcanoes, which is a very boiling rock liquid that happens in the ground level of the great rock, and then that comes as a blast onto the earth, and then the liquid that is inside is called magma, comes out to be lava, and then a new rock happens to form, that is igneous rock. So there are two types of forces that is happening in these volcano eruptions. One is intrusive landforms, then is other one is extrusive landforms. So after the lava comes out and cools down, then comes a new layer, that is igneous rocks. Then a new kind of landform happens to be, that is actually called as extrusive landforms. And then the other one is the lava, which is the magma which is inside, tries to comes out, and it tries to come out from different entries wherever it finds the rock is weak. So it tries to pushes out and makes a way out. There, actually, it doesn't come, but then there is a there are some places which bulges out. That is called intrusive landforms, because it is the magma is not yet out, but then a kind of bulge comes out of the rock. Then we have here a place called Pacific Ring of Fire. We also call it Pacific Ring of Fire, where if you look at properly, the whole red marked place is a place of great volcanoes. So almost 3 by 4th of 3 by 4th of land is in the control of volcanoes, and this is a great place where lot of volcanoes occur. So in the next video we also will learn about the landforms because of the earthquakes. Thank you.